Hey, Todd Burrier from toddburrier.com. Today we're going to talk about two huge tips for how to keep your focus on what really matters, right? And this is a big topic because you probably have a lot of things that really matter in your life, and one of them is your network marketing business that you're building. And you want to be able to keep that in focus. And there's also lots of things you can be doing in your network marketing business. So I'm going to make this more about your network marketing business, but you can apply these principles to everything. So let me give you an example that should be really helpful for you. Have you ever been to a circus? I know that there aren't many circuses anymore, but most people have been to one or at least saw one on a cartoon growing up or something, right? But bottom line is people have at some point seen a lion tamer, right? And a lion tamer is pretty interesting, isn't it? You got this guy typically, and there are lady lion tamers too, with a whip. A whip ain't much when it comes to a lion who could pounce on you and eat you in a heartbeat. I mean, and not break a sweat, right? So he's got the whip that he uses occasionally, and he's got this stool. The stool is the key, right? See, the stool has 4 legs. It's a 4-legged stool. And the reason that the lion tamer uses a 4-legged stool is because in the lion's brain, it sees 4 different threats. And because it sees 4 different threats, it doesn't know what to do. And so it's paralyzed. If he had just a spear, he's history because it's one threat. The lion's like, it's one thing, zoop, gone, right? And so this is really important because human beings, we freeze at 4 threats too, right? And you got all kinds of stuff that you can focus on that can freeze you and overwhelm you, right? So I'm going to make this really simple and brief. Think about your business, right? So number one tip, you have to have 3 top priorities. You have to have 3 top priorities. Now, in your work, right, in building in your network marketing business, your 2 primary jobs are to acquire customers and to acquire business partners. That is 2 of your primary jobs. So your priorities need to be in that vein for a long time. Until you have a lot of them and you really have a growing business, you don't have to worry so much about a lot of other things like building programs and trainings, and you don't have to worry so much about that stuff until you've accomplished the first part. But if you don't focus on the first things, you won't have that anyway to worry about. And I see this all the time. People get involved in the business and they're like, well, I got to learn about this and I got to learn about that and then I got to do this and I got to check that and I got to go here. No, you don't. Make a context, tell your story, send the information, follow up, do your work, right? Because that's all that matters. That's the priority. So you got to figure out what your top 3 priorities are. Your top 3 in building your business. So that's part of the process work. I would tell you it's making contacts, sharing the information, and following up. Those are your top 3 things to do. And that anything that you're doing, if you're early in your business, that's not those 3, it's not a priority. Doesn't matter how well you know the marketing plan. Because you can say, hey, I don't know about that, but check it out. It's right here. It doesn't matter how well you know your ingredients. Or, hey, I don't know about that, but check it out right here. Right? I mean, that's easy, right? That's easy, but you lose sight of it if you think about all there is, right? If there's all there is. And no, you got to narrow it down to the 3 top priorities that are in your work because you got what? An hour a day? 2 hours a day to work your business? If you're full-time, then you got, 8, 10, 12, depending on how many hours you're putting in. You could fit a little bit more in there, right? But those of you who are working part-time, which is 95% of you, right? Narrow it down to 3, all right? So that's number 1. Number 2, say no. Learn to say no. So I'll give you an example. When you're doing something important, all kinds of stuff are going to come at you, right? All kind of opportunities to do other things, all kind of opportunities to do other opportunities, right? There's so many different things can be distracting. You got to learn how to say no. And when your priorities are right, it's easy to say no, right? If things don't fit in my priorities, I don't even have to think about it. Just say, no, that doesn't work. Oh, no, I'm not doing that, right? So even in the work, right? So when I launched the project this year to expand my training and teaching platform, which is that's what my heart is. I have the heart of a teacher. I immediately began to say no to life coaching clients because that didn't fit my platform for helping everyday people build extraordinary success in network marketing. And extraordinary success is whatever it is for the individual, but doing life coaching didn't fit that box. And I stopped doing leadership seminars for corporations. Why? Because it didn't fit in that box, right? So my time has to be focused into the priorities. And so you have that same thing. When you said yes to building your network marketing business, right? And that became one of the priorities for you because of what it represents for your future and for your family, then essentially you poured more water into a full bucket, right? And so you have to know what to say no to and what to take out, because saying yes to doing this means you have to say no to some other things. And you have to be clear about that, right? So especially in my early days of the business, I mean, you can tell by following me that I love to fish, right? I didn't fish very much, right? And I like to golf. I'm really bad at it, but I have fun doing it. But I didn't do those two things because you spend a lot of time with that. And so when I said yes to building something for my family, I had to say no to those for a little while. But the beauty of it is when you do what you have to do based on your priorities and what you're trying to accomplish, in time, you can spend as much time doing what you want to do. I could go fishing every day, all day right now. I don't because I have a new goal, right? I have a new purpose. I want to help 1 million people in the next 3 years. That's just what I'm trying to accomplish. And so that's why I ask you to share and help get the word out, because I want to help people. I believe there's a huge amount of people that need to know that they can do this and that they can do this in behaving in the right way, and that they can work with people in a nice fashion, that they can grow something of meaning for their family. And I believe I can help those people. So that's the whole point for me. And so that's the two things that will help you. One is identify the top 3 priorities and set everything else aside. And 2 is from that, know exactly what to say no to. So there's a little assignment for you that you might think about. And actually send me a comment. What did you decide to cut out? What are your top 3 priorities? And if you need help, you need guidance, shoot me a question in a comment. I'm happy to get back to you. Feel free to share this with your team or other people that you think might benefit from it. And by the way, if you haven't checked out my products page and seen some of my books and training, those things will be really helpful for you. And hey, as always, I appreciate you stopping by and giving me the opportunity to serve you in your journey. All right? See you later.